Hello and welcome to Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. I'm your host, Crypto Jack, coming to you live this Tuesday, December 8th, 2020. Today, of course, Bitcoin seems to be poised for its next major downturn, but that I guess still remains to be seen. I guess most market participants waiting for the big CME gap to close and for I guess the big market rout to come before the buyers step in and buy those dips. But with that said, I've got two of our analysts with us today. We got Alex and Jason aboard for the show. How are you guys doing today?
Doing fantastic on this Tuesday. How are you guys doing?
I'm waiting for the CME gap close at 9,600. Wait me then.
Oh boy.
9,600. Ooh, we're going big gap closing, huh?
Yeah, nice 50% correction
Today,
before
it's happening today.
Before the mega run, eh? Damn, today we're closing the gap. Oh, okay, time to explore
That's
that
a
thesis.
bold-ass prediction.
Yep, indeed. If we look to crypto
and then
bubbles,
40K by the end of the week. It's going to be wild, guys. Hold on.
That's going to be a ride.
Sounds like my kind of Bitcoin roller coaster.
Sounds like the one we've been on already, so.
Well, we have
a really slow-ass roller coaster.
We've been climbing.
Past couple weeks, huh?
Yeah, we've been climbing to the top, but the roller coaster hasn't seemingly taken its first dive yet.
Yeah, it's like when you're going up that the roller coaster, and it's right where it gets to the end, where it just goes chink, chink, chink,
Yep.
and then it just free falls.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel like right now, because like these last 2 weeks we've been talking about it, and I feel like it's kind of beating a dead horse, but it's what's happening. I mean, we're going sideways.
Everybody's waiting for it, but then there's the counter thesis, which is
screw it, let's go to the moon.
You know, everybody waiting for the drop, and it's not going to come. It's really going to reverse and go the other way.
It's going to come.
But I guess I'll wait to be seen. I mean, we did get, what's this, in the 20%ish correction about a week ago, so maybe that was all the dip we're ever going to get, but doesn't seem the way most of the market feels. I know.
There's so much liquidity below us.
I know.
The market seeks liquidity.
I feel you, boys. But with that said, so today we are going to be covering a mixture of markets. If you're new to the show, a little refresher on how we run the schedule. We're going to go from the intro into the majors like Bitcoin and Ethereum before we dive into the alts. We'll probably do FOREX in the first hour as well. By hour 2, we are firmly into the chart requests and the audience Q&A. So if anybody in the audience has any requests, you know where to post them. Next, we have news we're probably going to do on the way out, probably in the latter half of the second hour. One of the stories we're of course going to cover is one you see on the screen right now, and that's Microstrategy plans to push corporate Bitcoin investment above $1 billion mark. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but the famous Microstrategy firm that did allocate like 400 million to Bitcoin earlier this year. Well, now they're saying they're going to.
It was a reasonable amount of money. Didn't they get their buy-in at like 10,600 or something like that?
Yeah, now apparently they want more, so they're going to average their price in a bit, and they want to increase that to $1 billion. So they probably want to double their existing exposure to Bitcoin. So an interesting story. We'll be covering that later in the show. Apparently Citigroup has what's that term I'm looking for? They dropped their credit rating. They dropped MicroStrategy's credit rating, saying they've gone from good to neutral. So apparently Citigroup doesn't concur with MicroStrategy's big Bitcoin investment, but we'll explore all that in later. What's up?
You know what? I say that Citigroup's credit rating isn't any good.
There you go.
Citigroup.
That's
what I say.
I heard that they care a lot about that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Mark my words. MicroStrategy to the moon. Citigroup.
I'll take some of that billion.
Beyond that, alts are mostly a sea of red here. If you take a look at crypto bubbles, we can see that it's mostly losers today. We got basically a wash of 5 to 10% losers, but I will point out that there is at least a couple gems in the rough here, and I think our analysts managed to capture a couple of them. You guys had at least exposure to block stacks, I believe, right?
Yep.
We took a trade in block stacks. We took a trade in HBAR. I think HBAR is probably stopped out. We'll have to check that one. We took a trade in AXS, which was mentioned on the show yesterday. And it looked so good that at the end of the day yesterday, I took a 12-hour trade on it because I wasn't sure about the volatility for the daily trade, but the 12-hour was there. So I talked it over with Jason, and we decided to put it up for the group.
And to be honest with you, like just looking at the way that we're doing it and considering that, okay, we know that Bitcoin could, and we're biased to that way already, considering the short that you had, but being able to pick those out, and then only only one of them isn't up right now. I think that really speaks volumes to
It does.
that we're doing here.
Quite impressive.
Because, it is quite the sea of red today.
Yep.
So we were talking about this on the show yesterday, as you folks may remember. I took the trade for the group here. As you can see on the 12-hour, we had a nice bottom above zero.
Is his screen up, Jack?
No. Good reminder. Thank you, Alex. Let me transition over.
Sorry, I always do this, guys.
It's all good, dude. Let me move over here, put you up on the screen. Yep, we got you and the AXSU trade, so let's do it.
Could that be a better Head and Shoulders?
Yeah.
You're so
long-suffering, Jack. Thank you.
All good.
I'm always like, okay, give me back the attention now.
No, all good, bro. Just gotta give me heads up.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, we took the trade on the breakout over here. This right here was the end of the daily candle, and as you can see, overnight we retested the top of this, and this morning we have taken off. We've hit. We can go back in time and you can see for yourself what the take profits were, because this was set up with Quadriga.
Makes things very nice.
This is the trade as it was taken.
Also, Alex, if you leave historical prices on, you can see where the take profits would be with the current candle as well. Within the Quadriga settings.
Okay, I've never.
So right there, yep. Show historical target dates.
That, of course, yes.
Yep. I always keep that on just for looking at quickly referencing where your take profits are.
My problem is because I will leave Quadriga on and forget that it's on. Having the historical pricing data on almost always means that I end up with a bunch of extra lines on my chart, even more than I already do.
That can also be true.
So yes. We will now fast forward through time. As you can see, we're hitting the area of take profit 1. I don't really believe we've hit take profit 2 yet.
No, it's almost there, but not quite.
No, right here is take profit 2. So that was
close.
a nice trade. And then let's take a look at block stacks. This one was taken on the daily.
I think you hit 2 TPs there.
Most likely. So this is the signal as we took it. As you can see, we had not only did we have a Fisher cross up here, we're also above zero on our oscillator, which is both good directional biases. We have volatility increasing with the rising explosion level on WADA. Yeah, that's right. We're getting a momentum signal also on WADA with the momentum bar rising above our explosion level. And of course, I don't think we have a baseline here yet on block stacks. Let me see.
Yeah.
I have it turned off because we definitely didn't on AXS. But oh yeah, no, we do. And as you can see, we were crossing above the baseline. So that's a great initial PTP signal. And
I always like seeing on breakout trades like that when they coincide with unnatural volume coming in as well. 2 candles in a row there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very bullish thing to be seeing.
So this is a wonderful classic. Oh yeah. This is a wonderful classic PTP signal. And we'll move the take profit, we'll move the stop to break even and just kind of let it run from here, especially if it's hit the second take profit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Before I dive into or let Alex at least dive into the Bitcoin analysis, I was just going to quickly shout out everybody who's here this morning. Mm-hmm. I see David Rice was the first one in the room today, so congrats to David Rice. Thank you so much for being here, David. We got Stun Gun says good day all. David Rice says, roll it, bowl it, or get naked and burn a pile. Just do it when cracking crypto is on. So,
thank you, guys.
David Rice says, when we get on, should be nothing stopping you from getting to the stream and hitting the like button. Alex says, let's go. Alexander Pearson in the live chat. Decentralized Citizen, like, why are you even here if you dislike? Ask Decentralized Citizen. Yeah, let's see here. We got 6 dislikes. I guess not everybody's happy, but we can't make everyone happy all the time. We do try our best, but
our bad for showing you consistent trades over the course of the months.
We got those haters out there.
Sorry.
But shout out to Decentralized Citizen, who does have the green subscriber status. He is one of our subscribers to the channel, or supporters. So much thanks to Decentralized Citizen for being here. Damien Hughes, people must really hate the intro. I suppose they do, Damien. The likes just poured in. Come intro. S. Hyatt, evening all, says Mr. Hyatt. Hello, Mr. Hyatt. Damien Hughes, Remy Nicholas. I
kind of like the intro music. It still
I do too.
After all this time, it still doesn't grate on my nerves.
That's a real testament for how long I've been hearing that song and how much I'm not sick of it. So
right. Yeah. OG status, that tune, I tell you. Remy Nicholas, let's get it. Decentralized Citizen. I can live with the intro for 30 minutes, he says. I think Bitcoin hit support at 18.6K, and we are checking if we're going up again. So indeed.
So what you're saying is the last leg to the downside was the last leg to the downside, because that's right where we bounced off here.
Pretty much. Let's see here.
Calling bottom.
We got Andrew in the live chat. I see A. Michael, who says you killed that STX signal yesterday. Yeah, our analysts are, some fine operators. Let's see. Decentralized Citizen. Yes, we are in the 18.5 to 19K range now. So as far as these citizens concerned, we're going to be ranging around here. Midwest, pointing out which trades are holding up. Andrew says, don't offer too much of your stellar analysis for free, fellas. I always think about that too, but this is what we do. We talk charts. There isn't anything too secretive going on around here. And I still think
that's kind of the point, man.
And I still think the premium members do get a lot of exclusive stuff as they should. Sure. So I think we kind of reach a good balance here. We do try our best. Listen, when we are top tier crypto YouTubers with 10,000 current viewers, we're going to be doing super chats only. So you guys are kind of here on the ground floor where we do all your chats for free. Yes, there will come a day where we are so big, so popular, we're only going to be able to do the super chats, but that may still be yet to come. So
I'd like to thank the little people who helped make this possible. Thank you. Thank you, little people.
Precisely. Precisely. Better get your wallets out for the super chats come super chat season, I guess is what I'm saying. But Andrew, don't offer too much. Yeah, I read that. Jack Rezio says hello. Moonshine Fuel, exactly. It's the opposite. Damien Hughes, sorry, MicroStrategy, you're making too much money on the side. Have a downgrade. Indeed, that's the word I was looking for. They downgraded their credit worthiness. Robin Waldvogel. As far as I know, MicroStrategy bought for $450 million already. It was $250 initially and $200 million just recently. Right, so they started $250, $200, and now this is going to add another $550 million potentially to their coffers. B-Flow, you're welcome. Ha ha ha. Let's see here. Last few comments, and we'll be getting to the Bitcoin analysis. Moonshine Fuel calls this the road to 100,000. Andrew coming in with a banned request. Access denied in the live chat. Haven't seen access denied in a while. I want to see the bald dude. That shit has gone far enough. Ooh, somebody wants to see the bald dude. They're not happy with our
the bald dude.
Between us.
I am sorry for the amount of hair on my head. There is. I was born with a baldness deficiency.
Yeah, me too.
I've got long flowing locks myself, actually. So yes,
I would be super surprised if you have long.
I hear Jack's hair is down to his waist. Actually,
he doesn't need TP anymore.
I actually still have my hair from my hairband days, so I've got a big old mop on my head.
I don't know if you're joking.
I got a big old mop on my head.
What instrument, man?
I had to throw in the towel after my neck injury.
He's a bass player.
Shit. Evo in the live chat. Mr. Ether says he got the notification today. Wonderful, Mr. Ether. We got AK in the chat says asking when Justin will be back in due time. Ron Legato saying hello. Gary Dotson. Hello, everybody. Hello, Gary. Jordan Stotts. Khalid Hazimi. Hello, guys. And Swing Trade Pros is here. Nice to see you, Swing Trade. Ron Legato. Dark Rico. Good to see you, Mr. Dark Rico. Kimo Zabi is in here saying he's a 6'4", 200-pound little person. And Damian Hughes talking about Raven. And that would be it. We're all caught up. Thank you so much for your comments in the live chat, everyone. We will be collecting your requests. I have noticed, the Raven and the bands and all the other ones. So I will be making notes of that. But we've gone on too long with the intro as it is. Time to get right into Alex's Bitcoin majors analysis. Yep. Take it away.
All right, guys. Well, I'm looking over here at our index list, which I have listed here under derivative products. Bitcoin is still just trading sideways. The alts have really followed it as it dipped yesterday. What's really interesting over here is that the Uniswap perpetual contract, Uniswap Perp, this is really diverging from all the other markets, isn't it? This is having an up day.
Oh, indeed. Is that a new high?
Not quite. This is still higher over here, but I mean, this is the long we would take at the end of today. Well, this is a good continuation long. This is not. We don't have the volatility, but. Let's see. Let me turn off our baseline here as we don't have enough data. And of course, I've left Quadrigo on. There we go. So pretty big divergence right here. As you can see, DeFi Perp.
Looking very similar. All those looking very similar to Bitcoin right now.
Yeah, kind of breaking down. Although I will say Exchange Perp here is doing so on lowering volume.
Yes, and I would agree there that Exchange Perp actually looks like it's completed the movement already that I'm expecting out of Bitcoin. So this, you could start to see this decouple as well as the what was it, the Uniswap Perp?
Yes, Uniswap Perp. That's right.
Yes.
I thought this chart was so interesting. I actually went and hold on. Let me draw this right here. Okay, cool. So we're staying above this support level. See, this is really good. It's kind of like we're pushing up through resistance in this spot. This is a nice ascending triangle here.
Yep. And statistically, you're probably looking at either a false breakout or a breakout right now, 70% of the way. So.
So I did prepare something ahead of the show because I was a little excited about it. I went ahead and I found the index calculations for FTX, and I found out what it is that makes up the Uniswap index. So we have a few names that you guys will recognize here. We've got YFI, Link, LRC, Serum, Cream, which just got added to the YFI network, Synthetics. Hex is on this list. I don't recognize Ant. UMA is insurance. There's Swap Token.
Comp is on
Soft
there, which
Bitcoin.
Comp's doing very well today.
Yep, Comp is having a really up day. I recognize Aleph. There's Sora right over here. SoftLink, Ren,
BLX,
Reserve Rights, Stake. So a lot of things here that I recognize. Mix, I don't. Vidya, I don't recognize. KNC is here. XRT is on here.
XSP, like we called last night.
Yep. And then, of course, we have Band. Band is on here as well. So there's a lot of XFT, Offshift. So there's a lot of names that I recognize on here, a lot of names that I don't. So we'll probably, we can glance through a lot of things on this list and see if there's anything that looks super interesting or good. Because this is a really interesting divergence. And, what do? We buy into strength. don't buy into weakness, right, guys? We're not looking to buy the stuff that's down the most today. We want the stuff that's up today. So that makes sense. So I kind of wanted to preview that before we go into Bitcoin, because I talked a lot about this yesterday. For those of you who watch the show, you probably watch it regularly enough that you'll remember. We're below the baseline. We have been since this weekend. And I've been advising people that while we're below the baseline, you should likely be hedged up. It makes a lot of sense in this position. All our oscillators our oscillators on every time frame are pointed down right now. Even on the CME, we're finally below the baseline. So those of you have mentioned to me in the comments on the show, and it's been mentioned before, that the CME chart seems to be a little bit more reliable on whether when it's time to hedge below the baseline or not. I will say this, if you look back, certainly that has been true over the past ever since March. If we look at this, having experienced it, there was a lot of chop here, a lot of chop here on the standard Bitcoin charts, whereas that did not occur really on the CME charts. You see, we did not have the chop here. You were just hedged here, got unhedged, hedged up here, got unhedged, and now we're below the baseline on the CME chart. We're printing a pretty strong bearish divergence here, as you can see.
Which has not happened in a while.
Yep. We'll be closing this at the end of today. As you can see, we're finally getting the cross down right here. Visible like so, yada yada. It doesn't look great for Bitcoin. So I think it makes sense to be hedged up, at least on the spot. Yeah, I put up a short for the group, but just a 1% short. Volatility has been so high. Our take profits are actually very wide. It's like 18-1, 17-1, and then 16-1. So it's a rather wide one. But
I really got my eyes set on the 17.2 level for some reason. But with that short, yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Lately, volatility's been so high that it does seem like take profits are way wider than they usually are. Which, I mean, in these situations, that might end up playing out way better for us, as long as we're catching the right movement.
Yes, I think so too. I think 17.2 makes sense here as a first target level-ish, because that's kind of resistance that we got trapped under here, and then we broke right above. We would retest that as potential support, and potentially we could build an ascending triangle pattern here on Bitcoin.
Yep. And I'm going to be putting out a market analysis today on Ethereum and Bitcoin, and how I really think these ascending triangles are going to play out, because I really do believe that we are just in the middle of it.
Yep. I've heard it said, I wouldn't call myself such a long-term expert that I know this for sure, but I've heard it said that there's a lot of profit taking by institutions in the markets towards the end of the year for tax purposes, loss purposes, and for, hey, everybody wants to take money out of the markets and buy gifts for the kids. So, yeah, we could see maybe just a dip through November, get like a small January drop, as is traditional. Bitcoin tends to get January drops. And then we'll see a strong beginning of the year in both the broader markets and in Bitcoin. And then who knows what 2021 will bring.
Yeah, I mean, let's just go back to the beginning of 2020 and just look at the predictions. Like, there's a lot of people that didn't have us right here, that's for sure.
Remember when we almost went to war with Iran? Yeah, it's like a lifetime ago.
Yep, that was serious. World War III was seemingly popping off early 2020.
Well, thank God we're not there.
We're still above water, guys. Life is still good. Have to be thankful, count our blessings while we still have them here. So
I'll amen that. Yeah, I think that's, of course. We're all pretty lucky here, I think. Ethereum here is pulled below its daily baseline. I think Ethereum looks it's almost ready for a short. As you can see, volatility is a little too low for us to get PTP short. But everything else is saying that, yeah, it's probably time. We want to wait for volatility to pick up here, and then WADA's already fired. Our oscillator is not yet below zero, but we're crossed under, and we got a nice bearish divergence here.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still in this pattern, and we're still within the larger daily trend. So I'd be a little leery about taking the Ethereum short just yet, but it looks like it's almost time. And even so, if we even just pull back to this area here, it would be healthy for Ethereum. We could still get a nice run up after we get a retest of this or this as resistance turns support. What do you have your eye on, Jason? Anything you were looking at this morning?
Well, this morning, I mean, considering the alts have had such a bad day, I'm more still focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. I really just want to see what's going to play out here. I've been trying to be patient over the last few weeks. I haven't called too many Bitcoin trades, but I did call a 4-hour short today. Yeah, I got a full system short. Whether that plays out, we still got to wait. But that entry was about 18.83.
And that's a WADA system short you built?
Nope, that is a combination of time transformation, Minx, WADA, and baseline using a 13 EMA.
Okay, yeah.
And then I like to confirm it with another strategy which utilizes Parallax, Minx, 60 hole, and WADA. And I'm actually getting both signals right now, which is really good. So that's why I took that position. But I mean, I'm kind of like a broken record these last few weeks because I've been saying I think we're going to keep ranging sideways. I think that we're in a very large ascending triangle, which has yet to be proven wrong. But looking at it the way that I think we're playing it perfectly, honestly, we're looking for the opportunities within the other markets that seem to be moving while Bitcoin is doing its thing. And I mean, we can just take this day to day. I'm actually curious to look a little bit deeper into some of those coins like Band, Comp, them that are doing well, which seem to be
Meta really popped off. I was looking at it around $1.19, and I was like, I'm going to give it a few more days. I should have bought some of that.
I feel like that's the story of everyone's life. Like, I knew I should have.
But it's okay, guys. We have not missed the train. Most retail traders out there don't have an analyst who's sitting there staring at all the different indices, letting them know that, hey, today might be the day, guys. Uniswap coins are looking good.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't know. They don't know what's happening. I mean, and for most of them, they don't even have a way to chart these Uniswap tokens. If you're an average retail trader, then you just type in uniswap.info. And you go and you look up whatever kind of token you're looking for that you heard about in your Telegram group or in your Facebook group or in your Discord channel or your subreddit or the 4chan thread.
Or maybe you heard it here.
Yes, or maybe you heard about it here. But, most places, most people, they don't even have a way to chart it. They don't really have ChartX.
A lot of people just don't know these things exist.
Yeah, and they And the worst part is because Uniswap is such a festering hole of scam.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They don't call it the Uniswamp for nothing, right?
Yeah, no, such a festering hole.
A hive of scum and villainy. It's just, you don't really know which ones to get into, even though you might know that Uniswap is pumping, but if you don't know what's in the index calculations, so then you might just buy a scam coin or something shitty and just be like, well, it's part of Uniswap right now. I guess what I'm getting at, people, is that you should be extremely cautious.
And doing your own research. Like, if you're not understanding how these things are calculated and built, I don't think you should be putting your money into them.
Yeah. I would just be extremely cautious because we are going to talk about Uniswap tokens. And one of the reasons why I often don't talk about Uniswap tokens on the show too often because I'm worried about people, losing money. These
Going
things
overboard.
are super, super highly volatile. They're the
Yeah.
crypto equivalent of penny stocks.
Yeah.
And crypto is already practically penny stocks.
Yeah,
So
it's a giant OCT pink sheets desk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you on that as well. Is because it's one thing to be in like a good mood talking about something and then telling them like, oh, this looks really good. But then someone out there that's just listening is like, oh, that's going to be a sure thing, and then puts a ridiculous amount of money on something that they didn't even do any research on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's maybe move into the couple more majors before I go into the alts. Can I get you guys to check out XRP and Link real quick before we go any further down the alt list?
I know I think we were eyeing Link for a short last night.
Yeah, XRP crossing below the daily baseline. This is going to be a daily short at the end of today, actually. WADA is signaling. We've got increasing volatility as shown by the barely visible, but there, rising explosion level. We've got a momentum signal, which is a nice little bonus. And probably at the end of today, let's zoom in, we'll cross under. And then once we do, we'll be a go on an XRP short. I think I would really like to take this, again, down to the 40 cent, 45 cent level. I think there's a lot to recommend that level to us. If we just scroll back, as you can see, it's a very nice consolidation level that XRP likes.
At least at the top of that shelf.
Yep. Yeah, price likes to retest previous consolidation areas.
That's definitely going on the list for today.
Let's see. Okay, so XRP. We'll look at Link. Let's take a look at Link.
Breakup trend as well.
Oh, we finally have a signal.
Yep. Just gotta be patient.
So we finally have enough volatility, which maybe we didn't really need for a continuation short here, but it's nice to have.
If you're gonna be following rules, follow the rules.
Yeah. I think Link looks really good for a short, at least back down to the $8 level, $7-8 level.
Yep.
Ultimately, I think I would like to see Link retest maybe $5 range, but I don't really have any evidence for that right now. But I think $7-8 is solid for a Link short. What's the weekly look like? Yeah.
Well, what's an 80% retracement of the total Link? Because I mean, when it ran there for a while.
Yeah. Let's
check that out real quick just to see if we can get ourselves any kind of numbers.
Yeah.
I bet it takes you right to the bottom of that shelf where you have marked out. No, not that one. Okay, you'll find it.
Let me delete that. I always do that.
We're looking for the
So this is 60%, 80%.
Right to the top of that lower shelf.
Yeah. Whoops.
And what's that put you around, like $4 to $5? Oh, actually about $3.78.
$3.75. Yeah. So what Jason is talking about, folks, for those of you who aren't aware, is that when price makes a parabolic move, it tends to retrace about 80% of that move.
Gives it back.
Yeah, before continuing onwards. Now, as you can see, that still leaves a lot of move that took place that never gets retraced. It's like price will probably never be this level for Chainlink again. Otherwise, it'd be retracing.
Unless it's just a failed project at that point. I mean, you'd be really messing up some fundamentals at that point.
Yeah. It's, the price of Link dumped 90%. Seems unlikely. Bitcoin didn't even do that during this bear market. So,
yeah, I think it came right to about 80 itself, didn't it?
Something like that. I don't recall. I think it might have been 84, 85%.
Yeah, I know it was in the 80s, but
it was solid. But once again, guys, that is an example of a retracement on a parabolic move. And an 85% retracement just took us back down to 3,000 from 20K. It didn't take us back down to $500, which is where we started.
Yep. And I think it's just important to always keep those things in your mind, because when you do this every day, you can really tend to bias yourself on, oh no, it's going to get support here. It's just good to have that mind frame of, okay, there is a possibility that this thing goes all the way back down. Like, and you need to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just point out a comment here from Damien Hughes that just came in, and he says, regarding Link to $4, wouldn't many Link Marines need to sell? I just don't see that happening. Yeah, I feel like forget the
domino
big Link
effect,
sell.
my friend. If everything starts selling off, everyone's going to start selling.
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of retail interest in this area and a lot of retail interest that bought the dip. We don't need everybody who owns Link to sell to get it down to $4. We just need enough retail panic from all the people that bought in this area up here to sell it down to $4. And then maybe the Link Marines come in and they buy it up from $4 up to like $6 or $8 again. I'm not saying it'll be at $4 forever.
Oh no, I'm saying it might even be a wick at some point, but like,
yeah, it might even just be a wick. But that's how things play out. You don't need every participant in a market to panic. You just need a sufficient number you need buyers to step away and be like, whoa, okay, let me hold off on buying until all these sellers are finished panicking, and then the buyers step in. You know, even if you're a big institution, you don't necessarily want to catch a falling knife. You wait until the capitulation, and then you wait for price to capitulate. It's something that you want as an institution, and then you step in and buy. Yeah. So think of it that way.
Decentralized Citizen just brought up, it's like, oh, perfect example. Stake was at $40 and just retraced to 8.2.
Stake.
Yeah, another example of a 80% retracement in an alt before it starts picking up again. Seems to be bouncing from 8.2, says Decentralized Citizen. And Matt Watson says, I bought some Link today, only 15 shares, but I thought we were at the bottom of that long-term logarithmic trend versus Bitcoin. I guess we are breaking out of that trend. I guess on the Bitcoin pairing, it might show something different. Might show a scrape in the bottom.
Yeah.
That's a good spot on that. And it doesn't mean that these things absolutely necessarily have to happen, but statistically over time, parabolic moves tend to have about an 80%
they happen
retracement.
so often that it's like common knowledge. It's like, well, parabolic moves, they retrace like 80%. So, you know, it's not like I'm a rocket scientist. I figured this out myself, guys. You know, someone pointed it out to me, and the market just does that thing.
Tends to happen more often than not.
Yeah, I usually view 80% off as a major buying opportunity.
And it's important to remember that, because a lot of people psychologically mess themselves up to where they're like, okay, they don't think about how far that's moved. And if they measured that, they'd probably think about price a little bit differently. But once it gets down there, everyone's like, no, it's going to zero. It's going to keep going down. Like it's amazing how easily you can talk yourself in and out of stuff. That's why systems are so important.
Let's move along. You guys want to do XRP next, or you want to go straight into?
He
into
did
the
XRP
alts?
already.
Oh, we did. My apologies.
Yeah, that's gonna get shorter.
All right.
We didn't look directly at Band. I mentioned we would look at Band, but we did not actually open it.
All right, let's take a look at Band.
Let us end the tease.
She's looking all right. I'll have to give it a look on my systems right now.
Band USDT just happened to be requested by Andrew in the live chat.
See if Band Bitcoin looks. This isn't too bad.
Looks like you're getting a baseline bounce on the Band USDT on the 24-hour off a continuation from yesterday.
Am I pushing it with this trend line, or what do you think? I kind of like it.
I do that all the time, to be honest with you. I think that's actually perfect. If you were to go any further, I don't think that it would be, but I think that's one, and this is the way I just think about it. I think that's one waveform, and I think done it perfectly. That's about to be a break of trend. That's why you're getting a baseline pullback now back down to that. And today on close, if it closes above there, I think that's a good continuation.
This does feel like we had the baseline bounce pull back here. So
I'm referring to the 13 EMA, and the 13 EMA is currently sitting at, let's see here, 13 EMA is currently sitting at 669, and price is currently at 705. I think honestly this shelf will probably take you down to about like $7 to $6.90. But like I said, if it closes like this today, I think that is confirmed resistance becoming support, and I believe that the Uniswap Perp is clearly showing that strength.
Well, I was looking at banned Bitcoin there for a second, but I think this would still work. This would be roughly equivalent.
Yep. And I wouldn't count that little outlier there that throws back down into it. I think that's a false breakout. So I think you're right to chart it the exact way you just did.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we do have that little false breakout is now becoming the support. So like I said, if any kind of close above that 60 hold baseline, it's probably good for continuation.
I'm not super happy with these wicks, but I feel like even if we're just gonna retest resistance is actually like all the way up here.
I was gonna say, like, even this could just end up being a swing trade and a swing failure pattern, but there's still a lot of movement there to hit.
Yeah,
and
I think I like band in this spot, partially because it's on that Uniswap list. So if that, the way the index contracts work is obviously if people buy that up, then FTX has to own a portion of the
band
of the underlying to do
So
sorry, I'm not as good. I'm not as proficient at explaining this as I should be. But they have to own the underlying to
have it on their platform.
What's a good way to put it? Okay, sort of like how with an ETF, you own a basket of the goods and then you sell notes of the ETF that is equivalent to that basket of goods.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to that, FTX owns a basket, which changes on a weighted basis. A basket of the underlying assets in the index list. Some cream, some LRC, some link, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Equivalent to their mathematical formulation of what the top 100 Uniswap coins are averaged together into this index chart, and then they own the weighted amounts of each of these, which I'm here this lists the weights for each pool, how many of the different tokens on each contract they own.
While we have you there on that website, someone just asked a question, and I would be curious to know as well. Yeah. Is SUSHI involved in that? Could you just push? It is? Okay. I was going to say just push Control F and search for it real quick.
Yeah,
but
we totally can, but SUSHI's not on this list? I could have sworn I saw it. Shrimp is on this list. Why is SUSHI not on this list? That's crazy.
Yeah, Suku, not SUSHI.
Well, I stand corrected. I spoke without knowing what I was talking about. I thought I even see Unibright on here. SUSHI's not on here. I guess it's part of the DeFi. I know it's part of the DeFi perp.
Oh, is it part of the yield farming one, or?
It is, but I think there's other yield farming. I mean, this has comp on here.
Yep.
So
I am surprised
I know we had DeFi stuff on this contract because Link is also part of the DeFi Perp index.
Yeah, and it's also there. So yeah, as well as YFI.
Mm-hmm.
You learn something new every day. I figured SUSHI would have been on that list.
Yeah. Yeah, it's part of the DeFi list, but it's not part of... Here you guys can see what's inside of DeFi. So DeFi is KNC, Maker, ZR, Ren, Rep, Synthetics, Comp, Tomo, Rune, which I think is Thorchain, Curve, Dot, Link, Meta, Solana, Cream, Band, Serum, Swerve, Avalanche, Yearn Finance, Uniswap, Winx, I believe, Lend, and Balance. So for those of you who are interested in what like the big names of DeFi are, I would consider these the big names because they're part of the FTX contract. And SUSHI is a part of that. So I'm surprised it wasn't on the Uniswap list. Because certainly you can buy SUSHI right here on Uniswap.
And it's doing well currently.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I had to draw on this chart. Okay. All right, so band looks pretty good here, I think. I don't know the best spot to grab it. Maybe this is the best spot right now. Maybe it's just pulling back before it continues onwards.
That's what I believe is happening. I think you're getting a baseline pullback intraday because on my system you got a continuation long yesterday, and if you were going to play that with a baseline pullback, that like you're looking at entry now. Yeah. But that's why
remember folks that his baseline is the 13.
13. It's right? much more sensitive.
Yeah. So on our system, we already had the baseline pullback. It's likely this is the continuation signal over in this area.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be silly to look to take band in that spot.
What would you like to look at now? Do we have any chart requests? Or
someone just threw out Civic, I believe, or was it? Yeah, Civic, and I think it's been doing well lately. If I recall,
it did well in early November, just kind of trading sideways.
Very sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing to me right now. You might want to do that one on, or is that on Binance? It should be, right?
Let's see.
I would say you probably have a better day there.
Oh, okay. It's on Coinbase.
There you go. I mean, I think you can expect an 80% retracement out of that at some point.
I see a lot of volume down here. We're below the baseline. I wouldn't long this area. I don't know for sure that we won't come up here again and make a third high, but I still don't see anything to recommend this to us right now.
Yeah, she looks ugly.
I'm sure this chart has a great personality. Okay, Jason?
I bet you're about to see a big line down, and that's going to complete the Bart Simpson.
Mm. Do we have another chart request?
How about this one? DNT came from the Ostrich, who also asked for Civic, so he had a 2-pack of requests. Let's do his other one.
I looked at DNT earlier today. It was looking kind of good. Well, it was looking good. Looks like we had a fake out today. Let's take a look at...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, no baseline for us. This could just be a retracement to retest this area before continuation. I really wish I had a baseline here to get a better sense of where we were in relation to itself. Tell you what, why don't we pull out a 13 EMA, because the whole 60 isn't going to work. We'll just regular EMA.
Looks like currently with the BTC pair, we're just sitting dead smack on that 13 EMA. DNT USDT. Sitting up same position here.
Sorry, I don't see anything to recommend this to us right now. Earlier in the day, it looked pretty good, but that is no longer the case.
All right, hope that covers Ostrich's request. I did see here, if we are, of course, going to power through a few more alts. One from Khalid Hazimi. Hi, what do you guys think of Raven USDT, particularly for the long term? So you think there's a long-term pickup from here? Let's take a look at the chart.
The last time someone thought it was a long-term pickup, that was the last all-time low, which is, I think, about 50% higher. Well, we're below the daily baseline.
Things aren't looking bullish for it.
But
could be a full signal for me today, actually, on RVN USDT for a short.
Yes, definitely on the daily, this is a short. Maybe even back down to this area right here. On the weekly,
nice topping below zero there on the USDT pair for Raven on the daily.
Oh, right here. Yeah, that looks bad.
Just can't quite make it there. Yeah, I remember RVN was like, someone did mention, like, everyone was really excited about RVN. And it has not performed.
Yeah, that was when it made this low over here, maybe?
That would have been in March, right?
Yeah.
Everything kind of took a shit then, though.
Yeah, I just don't see anything to recommend it to us yet. We'll see if we get a better signal, but for right now, I stay out of it.
There's stronger things out there.
Yeah.
Looks like we got ONT on the list for Mr. Ether.
Yep. Before we dive into ONT, just going to read a couple comments because a bunch of them just came in here. I was just going to shout out Yorick. York came in here. Peckham08 just arrived saying evening all.
Hey.
Agency AK Scooter in here. And yep, Peckham shouted out. I saw one comment here, just want to highlight before Alex keeps going. One from Hanjon saying, hey, evening all. Okay, hold on, that's not the one. Matt Watson saying, by the way, I've really been enjoying the show. I've been tuning in every day. Great job and great analysis. So thank you to Matt Watson for your
much
comments.
Appreciated.
That's it for now.
I agree. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Working every day on trying to get better with the analysis, guys. I know it's big shoes to fill, but I'd like to think that we've got a pretty good handle on the markets, at least for now.
You guys will know as soon as we don't, because you'll be letting us know.
Yeah. I would say on ontology, this is just this is definitely a short, no matter how you look at it. Below the daily baseline.
Probably should have got into that yesterday based off those signals.
Yeah, but we're still okay. We're still within the qualifying line.
Wada wasn't there. You're right.
Yeah. Wait, this is the 13 EMA. That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, for the 13 EMA, that looks like a signal yesterday, but 60, you're probably getting it today.
You're probably right. No.
Oh wow, it's been below.
Yeah. Should have been short over here. Today might even be a little. It's probably not too late for continuation short. Yeah, ontology is short.
And if you're worried about it, like the way he was just trying to figure out whether he liked it, or if it was too overextended or not, if that becomes something that you're dealing with, what I like to do is just reduce my risk to half of what I was going to put in. Because sometimes you look at it and you're like, oh, I gotta go. But like with your qualifying line, if it's overextended, a lot of the times just reduce the risk. Whether it works out or not, it'll end up saving you in the long run, I promise.
Decentralized Citizen says ONT is literally the worst token. No offense though.
Yeah. No offense though. You've offended me, my friend. There's so many tokens that I don't know the stories to.
Yeah, what do they do?
Right? Like, I know more about Dogecoin.
Mm-hmm.
Next requester.
I did see one up here for...
I see Peckham Away asking about YFL, saying he just bought $90 worth of YFL.
All right.
Ooh, comp looking good.
It's got nice liquidity and volume on it right now.
I'm sorry, man, but that's catching a knife.
You know, this is kind of just a retest of this previous consolidation area right here. I wouldn't necessarily...
Well, yeah, I agree, but like, you just gotta wait till daily close. That thing could end up closing way lower than that. Like,
yeah,
but I see what you're saying. There's definitely a shelf there.
Well, as you guys can see, I've drawn on this chart before, so these are definitely log trends. Yeah, I would try and wait for a break of this trend. Most likely, we'll retest against it and come down again before breaking out, and then that'll be the time to buy YFL.
You might be sitting in it for a little while.
Yeah, be a couple weeks, and this is also like 30% drop, so you'd be suffering under some pretty heavy drawdown. Very volatile.
All right, ready for the next one? Okay, I see one comment coming in here from Idiot Air. Top-notch stream, guys. Really enjoying the analysis. I'm seeing ZEC in a symmetrical triangle. What are your thoughts?
Let's take a look at Zcash. USDT. She's definitely in a triangle.
It's the same thing. We've snuck under the daily baseline. We're starting to get a WADA signal for short, and yep, we're going to be crossed under here on our oscillator. This looks like a short signal to me.
Yeah.
Look at that on the weekly. That's really ugly.
That's what I was looking at, is the weekly. The weekly looks like it's about to be a swing failure.
Yeah. Oh, man, look at that. This is just a wick up into resistance, and then last week was a doji, and then now we're trading down. This is a short.
That's, indicative of a market reversal.
Break of trend here, like so. Yeah, I think all signs point to downwards on Zcash. Magic 8 Ball says short.
Buy at a different time.
Yeah. Wartner.
Let's take a look. I got a few queued up here from earlier today. Let me make sure I get to them. I got a question here from Damian Hughes. Is the Uni Perp only for Uni token, or is it an index for coins on Uniswap? And I do believe it's an index of Uniswap tokens.
Index for coins on Uniswap.
And that's why he went through the coins that were within it.
No, excuse me. Okay, so there's two that are slightly different. Let's look at them so we can visually identify them. So Uniswap Perp is the Uniswap index, okay? Uniperp is the Uniswap protocol token perpetual future. So it's not the index. So Uniperp is
Uni.
Not it. Yeah, that's Uni, the token for Uniswap. Uniswap Perp is the index. Yeah. So I think that's probably a good clarification to ask for. Yes.
There you have it, Mr. Damien. Moving along to the next question. This one comes from Rob and Pau Donahue. DGTX dumped hard due to news of a new minting schedule of tokens, maybe a fire sale, dead cat opportunity. Do your own research. So, question regarding DGTX. Let's bring that up.
Looking for a dead cat bounce.
Bring that up.
That looks pretty rough for a dead cat bounce, my friend.
Just say no, man.
Yeah, that could just keep going. You're making all-time lows, it seems.
Yeah, let someone else catch this trade.
Yeah, let someone else brag about how much they lost on this.
Man,
that is interesting, man. That's
well, it's definitely a fire sale. It looks like the fire's been going on for a while, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that fire's been burning for a while.
Look through it.
Okay, got a question here from Hanjan. Hey, evening all. Could you take a look at SUSHI, and is it included in the Uniperp? I think we answered the second half of that question earlier. I don't believe it's actually part of the Uniperp on FTX.
Not.
Yeah,
you're right. It is not.
I think we just did OXT, correct?
No, we did ONT.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so OXT is Orchid, right?
Correct.
Okay, we do have a request here for Orchid, ALGO, and then also NU, which is a new drop on Coinbase. Actually made some good money off that over the weekend.
Okay, I feel like for SUSHI here, we may trade up a little bit more, but right now, I feel like we're just getting reestablished inside of this trading range.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would take it for another big swing upwards, but there's probably a swing trade long in here. I wouldn't necessarily want to short this spot. Do we have any sort of pattern or?
Yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily be looking to long that either.
Yeah, right now we'll probably just trade in this channel for a little while longer. I mean, I see some volume down here. Maybe we'll come down here, wick down into this area, continue. But for right now, I don't have a clear sign of what we're going to do from here. So I feel like the most likely answer is some sideways in this area.
Yeah, it's these weird coins that have a tendency to just continue marching up.
That's true.
All right, I hope that covered a SUSHI question coming from Hanjan, but the next one is going to be from Matt Watson, and as Jason mentioned, this is going to include Orchid and ALGO.
Okay.
Matt Watson also says he's got small bags of these in case of a big future move. Haven't done much DD on them, though.
I'm with you on that one, but I haven't. I mean, I know a little bit about Algorand just from some people on the team. I mean, Justin's interviewed Sybil McCauley and stuff like that, but I own some Orchid and ALGO on Coinbase as well, just for the same reason. Not a ton of them, but I DCA into these things as well. So I can't knock you for doing the same.
This is the same story as all these other mid-cap coins. As you can see, today we just broke below the daily baseline, and we're starting to get we don't have a full short signal here. We'll have a cross under, but we won't be below zero. And WADA is not firing, but we do have the volatility. I would say if you were going to short something, I wouldn't short ALGO. There's better ones to short. Zach earlier was a stronger short, but I would definitely wouldn't long this spot either.
Some of these just need some time to pick their direction.
Yeah. Maybe if it comes back down to this area and consolidates here again, that'd be the time to pick it up. But Orchid. Okay, Orchid.
T. Could have been looking at a continuation signal on yesterday's candle there.
No, today's candle will get a continuation signal.
Yeah, that does look good.
If we end the day like this, it'll be a continuation signal for OXT USDT. We'll get a nice cross up here above zero. WADA will have a rising explosion level and a nice momentum signal. So this would be worth a long. I mean, I'm not 100% sure about the long, but I think the setup has a lot of sense to it. Like kind of a nice baseline bounce too in this spot.
Mm-hmm. Holding very well over the 60.
Yeah. There's a lot of sense to the setup. I could see long.
Let me take a look at that.
right, ready for the next one? Are we still thinking about OXT potential long in the cards on this one?
I'm ready for the next one. I think Jason might be looking at it.
Right
I
on.
was just going to take a look at it on my system, and it would have actually given you a signal 4 days ago, which would have been keeping you in a little bit of drawdown. Today would have already had you hit TP1.
All right.
But it definitely is looking stronger than other coins out there for sure.
All right. Hopefully that covers the request coming from Matt Watson asking for Orchid and Algorand. So
there's not much data on it, but you can take a look at NUUSD, NUUSD.
yeah, Ostrich asking for NUCYTHER, the fresh new coin to
I
Coinbase.
say new. Oof. Hope you got out on Saturday.
Oh, I did. Made a nice 15% and walked away.
That's how it's done, folks. Most likely this is not done dumping yet. Let me turn off Quadriga. You can see it adds a whole bunch of lines here. We just don't have enough data, guys. I'm sorry. There could be a decent reversal along on the spot, but we might not be there yet. We might need to take one more dump down before we actually get the bounce here.
Yeah, quite a volatile movement off the Coinbase listing, so it's pretty hard to really call where support's going to hold true. But yeah, I do like what you just did there, crossing it through.
Yeah.
No, cross it back through the way that you did, and now
now
it's coming up on support. Yeah.
Okay, so we need to dump just a little further onto this probably.
I think that's a likely scenario. Yeah, I mean it could dump right through it, absolutely, but yeah, with these new coins, it's real hard. But
keep your eye on, folks,
because look at VPBR. I mean, there's so many outliers. It's like pew, 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 pew.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
You know, the increasing volume on this dump leads me to believe that we're not done yet. This is people selling into a dump, not buying into one. So yeah, I would say just it's not time to pick it up if you're waiting to pick it up again.
Right, hopefully it answers the request coming from Ostrich. Going to dive into the next one. And this one comes from Kevin M in the live chat. Hi guys, could you take a look at BEL for me, please? Bell token.
BEL.
Ooh, that's a good day today for Bell.
Oh, indubitably. Oh, would have been a beautiful pickup yesterday on this system. Signaled very nicely for the CO.
I didn't have a baseline, so I couldn't. Nice.
I mean, this could be a lot like that. Was it AXS last night?
I bet you can probably take this to $2. This looks strong.
It does look very strong. It looks a lot like that chart that we posted a signal for last night that had continuation.
Yeah. I think you could at least take it up to the top of this range where it wicks right here. Most likely to this consolidation area that you see right here. Love to see taking it up. Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful chart.
That's definitely looking stronger than others out there.
Even the weekly looks good. Weekly
Man,
looks like
looking at the weekly, I definitely down with that TP now.
Yeah. Okay, I think Bell looks good, guys. I don't know the exact correct spot to pick it up in. Probably earlier today was the exact correct spot.
Yeah.
See if we can get a retest of here. We can wick down into this area. That'll probably be the time to pick it up. If you're a breakout trader, I would wait for
come back down and retest that support.
Yeah. We could, if we get a close above this high, on the daily, I think that would be a wonderful signal to take. So close above these closes. Close open right here. Probably got the continuation signal here. Somewhere here. What's next on our list?
All right, Kevin M. Hope that answered your question regarding Bella token. We got one coming in right now from Decentralized Citizen. Please tell me how you trade stake, the 4-hour or daily chart.
Well, I posted there. I'm looking at the 4-hour on stake USDT. That would definitely be in a short position right now.
So, I mean, what do you mean by, like, how do we trade
Yeah,
stake? Like, mostly we don't trade stake is what I would answer to you.
Oof.
Well, the answer would be, how would we trade it? Is it would just be system based if it gave us a signal. But
I guess that question went down to Burp. Do you see any signals on the 4-hour or the daily?
well, I have not backtested stake that well, but looking at the one that I go through crypto with, I would definitely be in a short right now on the 4-hour. Right on that. Yes, right. On that, the second, not the current candle, but the second one, that would have been my full short signal.
Short signal?
It was actually up on the green. It was on the green up candle that you're seeing, but of course it's gonna look much different when you're using the 60 and the 13.
See. You know, this is probably just a healthy pullback here. We could see continuation on stake, but I mean, I don't know why you're trying to specifically scalp stake on the 4-hour. You're probably going to get burned really hard. Yeah. I would be really cautious, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure what if you're already invested in stake or something like that, but yeah, I don't know why you're specifically looking for stake, but there are definitely better things out there.
Centralized Citizen, I noticed, was talking stake all day in the live chat, so.
Well, don't lose your stake, buddy.
I think he picked it up at the bottom there, so I think he's pretty happy with his position in trade. If I'm not mistaken, I think he did.
Hopefully you've taken some profit by now, and if you haven't, sell 50% of it right now and wait.
We could see a continuation, but I mean, as far as the 4-hour, the 4-hour would be short, and you know, the 12-hour and daily, you'd still be long. You'd still be studying along. Yeah. You don't have a short signal or anything like that. It could just be a retest down here, continuation on the daily. There's nothing really to do right now.
Right, there you have it. That is the stake request for Decentralized Citizen. Hope that covers it. Let's see here. What do we got next? Jason, do you see this one here from another one from Ostrich? We should do at least one more for him. Yeah, let's do rep.
Rep USDT?
Yeah, let's rep that rep, shall we?
It's another one that I got just a little bit when it listed on Coinbase.
Yeah, looks rough here.
Choppy.
Yep, super choppy. These are both fuck you wicks.
About to get a cross under on time transformation after quite the volume coming up there. I mean, you did get a higher high there, but yeah, that's beginning to look weak.
Yeah, and then we're going to be under the daily baseline most likely. I think no on rep.
Yep, give it some more time.
Right, Ostrich, that
Ren
covers...
looks like a fantastic
wow,
short here,
that looks like a great short. Yep.
Let's put this. Can we short this later? Let's put this on the list.
I got it on my list. I'll have to go look to see if there's any Binance margin pairs on rep. On Ren.
Well, you can short it on Huobi if there's any Huobi traders that watch us. Question mark?
I don't know.
I probably not.
I'm not one.
Ooh, YFI. About to be a wonderful daily short also. No, we don't have the volatility. Okay. It's not there yet, but we are crossing below this daily baseline. Looks pretty rough here.
I haven't looked at it in a while, but I remember DOT looking strong last week. Let's take a look at it. Did it just go sideways the same way Bitcoin did?
I think it just crossed below the daily baseline like all the others.
Oh,
Or
yep.
whoa, we should be short DOT. We should have been. No, we didn't have a. We never got a continuation signal after the initial signal that we also didn't get. So there was no chance for us to even short DOT. Yeah, it's just looking really weak right now.
Yep.
Most likely, if you're a DOT believer, you'll want to pick it up again back around 425, 430, 450,
440. Yeah, I like 440.
Yeah, this is just too rough right here. I think that's true for a lot of these right now. Band is not looking too bad, as we said. Serum starting to look rough. Sushi has been strong, still well above the baseline. Swerve, crossing below the daily baseline. Winks, super rejected by the baseline here. Baseline's just saying no. Aave, no baseline exists yet because they screwed up their chart, because they split and renamed themselves. And even DeFi Perp itself is just saying, yeah, the average of all the indices, it's under the daily baseline. So I think DeFi as a whole is probably going to experience a pullback. We may see individual coins take off, like Meta, Comp. Stacks is not one, but Stacks did take off. Axis. Retail is still in the space, so if there's hype surrounding a coin, it looks like we're still taking them off, but they may not be ready to pop off yet until they retest support again, which is most likely going to be this area down here.
All right, what's next? I got a request here from Michael Frystorm asking for Theta. Let's take a quick look at Theta, and while I'm here, I'm gonna, since we are into the second hour, I'm gonna do a quick playlist change. We're gonna go from the jazz playlist back to the beats, kind of step up the energy for the second half of the show. Here we go. But yeah, we got Theta. Sorry, Theta next to
energy. Step up.
Don't quit your day job.
Energy's picking up as we speak, guys. Let's take a look at Theta coming from Michael Frystorm.
Theta, again. Okay.
You're still in that Theta trade currently, right? Or
hello. No, we're not. I don't think we are. Wait, the Theta Bitcoin. I think we got stopped out of it. Let me see.
I don't think we did.
Hello, Papa. Well, I can find out real quick. Signaltracking.krakencryptocurrency.com, which is how I access our sheet, and also how our premium members can access the sheet. If you do not know that, if you're a premium member, that is because we need to update our new premium member onboarding materials. I apologize for that. But that is something that you can do. So Theta Bitcoin, our stop loss was at 35.87. Had a low of 34.70.
Damn.
We got stopped out here.
We still made money. We still hit TP1, stopped out at break even.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the USDT pairing again, because maybe we'll find an entry on there that we can take. I think this is a valid continuation long here. We'll be getting crossed under, crossed back up right here. We'll have the volatility. We'll be making a new high above here and here. I like it.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that you have to think about, because you're like, okay, this could just keep running from here, but then at the same time, if you don't wait till daily close and that thing pulls all the way back,
yeah,
like it's just one of those tough ones. But I think if it closes above the two candles next to it, where it kind of went up and then wicked back down, and then we just had this nice bullish candle that just came up, I think if you close above that, that's absolutely going to continue on.
Yeah. So as Jason said, I don't want to rush into this trade right here. We're at resistance. If we close above it, even better. If we close below it, like back down here, then great, because that means that I got a better entry. And then if it closed down here, then we're not going to get the signal, and then we'll just be like, screw the whole thing.
No go.
So yeah, it's on our list. We'll look at it later today, and I'll have to update Theta because we stopped that yesterday. So if you're still in it, looking good, buddy.
Oh, you should have at least hit TP2 by now.
Yeah.
All right.
What's next on our agenda?
Michael Firstone, hope you like the Theta request. I got one from T-Dub coming in here. It's T-Dub asking for HBAR. Hedera hash graph. Let's take a look. According to him, it just hit his buy-in.
What?
T-Dub says he's buying in here. That's the impression. That's how I read that comment.
Oh, for HBAR?
Yeah.
It can make sense for...
Technically, you're getting some bullish divergence there on TT. Yeah, I would go up and hug it.
You would hug it like this?
Yep, because I think that is a fake out.
That sort of thing is probably likely. Like a lower time frame fake out.
It's usually what makes people chart things so differently and why it can be so vastly different across the board.
I think we'll probably retest a little lower again on HBAR here. Although I want to admit that there's not a lot of signs of that yet in the chart. I mean, we've made higher highs and higher lows.
Good momentum coming in on Walnut for sure.
So, I mean, this definitely feels like bottoming behavior on HBAR. But I think we'll probably retest down in this area. Just one more time.
That being said, you're in an HBAR position right now.
Yes. Unfortunately, we got faked out yesterday with the new high. We're likely stopped out here, I would imagine. On the USDT pairing. I can find out real quick.
I don't know. If you're using Quadriga, I think you have plenty more room in there.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we're not stopped out. Our stop was down here.
Yeah, and you're still well above the baseline.
Yeah. However, if we close the day like this, we cross back under on TT. I'll just exit at a loss. It'll be a shame, but
it's part of it. I had to exit 3 of them today that weren't holding up.
Yeah. There's still hope though. We could move up from here. Could just be retesting this consolidation.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
T-Dub says, I sold off my Theta at T.1 and he got scurred. Got scurred and scurried off like a varmint that he is. I'm just playing.
Wow.
I'm just saying, we're talking about things scurrying away. I feel like
no one scurries like our members.
Hey boy.
We here at Cracking Crypto.
Kevin M says, thanks guys for the previous request we did, no problem. Let me see here. We're kind of tapped out on requests, guys. We've covered them all.
Well,
I got one comment here I'm going to cover from Mr. Kobayashi. Mr. Kobayashi says, me and Mt. Gox are going to release 150,000 Bitcoin to our clients next week, the 15th of December. Ah, okay, Mr. Kobayashi. So if you're not already a client of Mr. Kobayashi's, if you want access to one of those free 150,000 Bitcoin that he's giving away over at Kobayashi and Partners, I suggest you DM him. But of course, I'm just joking around. Don't DM Kobayashi. If somebody says they're gonna give you free Bitcoin from the Mt. Gox hack, they're probably lying. So good one, Mr. Kobayashi. You're always counted on to make good jokes in the live chat.
Yes, thank you for humorously scamming our members. We love you.
And for not using like a reasonable number, just going way overboard on the first try.
Yeah.
We're gonna give 150,000 Bitcoin away. We don't even want the money ourselves.
Yeah, nothing like the Microstrategy big giveaway.
I want to say, by the way, to new members who may be watching, or old members who may have forgotten, no one gives away Bitcoin.
There's no such thing as a free lunch in any way.
Anybody who contacts you, say, we're giving away 0.2 Bitcoin. All you got to do is send your private key to this address. No one's giving away Bitcoin. No one gives away Bitcoin. People give away alts all the time. There's great airdrop opportunities. I don't want to pretend that there's not opportunities to make free cash in crypto right now. There is. Bitcoin,
but it's much different than just getting it for free from someone. Like,
indeed.
Why don't we look at Forex now
let's
that we've
dive into Forex. I'm just going to quickly highlight Peckham 08's comment that just came in. He says, I asked Santa for a Christmas present, the private keys to Satoshi's cold wallet. Hope he delivers.
Well, wouldn't you need his cold wallet to open it, or is that just on the
keys to the cold wallet? No, you just need the keys. Jimmy Dice, thank you guys for the great work, says Jimmy. Our pleasure. Of course, it's been a great show. Robin Pow Donahue says, moon the likes. Indeed, guys, moon the likes. And Ostrich asks, did you guys cover YFI already? We did. If you rewind to the 1 hour 18 mark, that's roughly where we covered YFI. GB Wally says, FYI, for those not familiar, Nobuaki Kobayashi, the stoic Japanese attorney, appointed as the trustee of the case. Ah, I see. So apparently, if you guys remember, the Mt. Gox was, I think, Japan-based. And when shit hit the fan, there was legal action launched in Japan to try to recover funds and all that. So I guess GB Wally just kind of clarify it. Mr. Nobuaki Kobayashi is the lead lawyer in charge of that. So when somebody comes in here,
I learned something interesting about the Mt. Gox exchange recently.
What's that?
And that's the guy who purchased it originally, or the guy who created it originally, was going to make a Magic the Gathering exchange, and so that's what the MTG in Mt. Gox is actually Magic the Gathering, and then it's like it's Magic the Gathering open exchange.
Online exchange, yes, and I do know a whale from back in the day who initially got his stack of Bitcoin by trading Mt. Gox Magic the Gathering cards for his bag. So he's got a few thousand BTC that he traded a pretty decent Mt. Gox again. What Magic the Gathering.
Legend. Can you imagine? You just every day you must wake up and feel good about yourself.
Man, I am never sick of me. What am I going to do today?
Magic Gathering cards as you want to.
It's probably got a nice deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Mt. Gox was. It was originally a Magic the Gathering type of hub, and somehow turned into a Bitcoin thing. But again, I think it's because in the early days, Bitcoin wasn't really seen as too valuable, and was seen as maybe like an internet currency, and I guess part of the Magic the Gathering community, I guess, embraced it as such, and trades, I guess, were happening between the cards and Bitcoin, and then turns out, well, I mean, the cards are probably still valuable to this day. I'm sure there's a hardcore following for that, but they're probably not Bitcoin money, so shout-outs to...
Way to get it done early.
God, I should have traded.
I guess it's the difference between something holding its value and something growing in value.
I guess I should have traded my Warhammer collection for Bitcoin back in the day. All I got was a bag XRP.
And I'm still shilling it.
Okay, Forex. Let's take it away with the Forex. We're caught up on the live chat. Thank you to everybody who left a comment and a request. But let's see how long we've been going. We've been going for about an hour and a half, so that does kind of take us toward the end of the second half. We'll run through the Forex and see what we have to wrap up with.
So I would classify the Dixie as trading sideways at support here. It looks good for a reversal in this spot. Likely wipe out some of the dollar shorters.
Like a baseline pullback. Yep.
Yeah. Get a baseline pullback, retest our trend line. There's a lot of different technical reasons I would expect we're going to get a bounce in this area. It's not guaranteed, but I think everything is looking good for that.
With Bitcoin doing its thing right now, it would probably make sense for the Dixie to have an up day.
Yeah. SUSHI, as I've said over and over, SUSHI has been strong, continues to be strong. Down day for the Australian dollar. A day of recovery and trading sideways, I would say, for the British pound. Canadian loonie pulling back today. Euro pulling back as well. Let's take a look at that on the trading pairs. Aussie dollar yen trading at resistance, likely to be a reversal opportunity in this spot. I think we'll be breaking this trend at the end of today, as you can see. If you like reversal trading, I would take this today.
Yeah, it's that last little leg up to get that little last bit of liquidity before it dumps off. Like, I do like that as well.
Yeah, so beautiful short opportunity right now. But as far as PTP goes, nothing for us to do right now. We're just going to be waiting for a cross below the baseline and hope we've got enough volatility to take that trade. So I'll put that on our watch list. Aussie NZD. We entered this trade here right now. I think we entered on the wick. We're underwater on this right now. Most likely, we'll be getting stopped out here. I think it's going to retest the baseline before continuing onwards. You win some, you lose some. But I won't be exiting until we get an actual exit signal or get stopped.
That's the important thing of having rules, people. Once you're in the trade, let it work the way it's supposed to, because you never know what you're going to get. That thing could reverse in a minute and hit TP1 right after you exit.
Very true. Very true. Aussie Canadian, Aussie Kiwi. No. Loonie. There we go. Aussie Loonie is trading sideways. We had a short signal here, but we've been below the qualifying line, so we couldn't take this trade. Aussie US dollar was kind of trading sideways, but this is starting to look
a lot similar to that other one that you just posted.
Yeah.
Just haven't broke the trend on that one.
Yep.
But you're getting a higher high there.
Yeah, if we can get a trend break on it, this will make sense here. Especially because the dollar is looking like it may reverse. But we'll see. We don't have that reversal yet. As we know, the Swissy has been strong. So Aussie dollar versus Swissy is just kind of waterfalling down right now. Canadian Swissy, baseline bounce. No short signal yet that we can really take. Canadian dollar yen. Reversal signal, really more of a take profit signal, nothing for us to do here. Swissy yen continuing. I still can't believe I let this one get away from me. My heart is killing me.
Oh yeah, man.
I still can't believe I let this wick figure me out.
That's quite the impressive move for FOREX.
Yeah, it was like 2% over 2 days.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And you know, I talked about it forever, guys. It was going to happen. Anyway, it's likely to continue. There's strong continuation signals right here. Swissy's probably going to remain pretty strong against the yen in this spot. We're not necessarily out of this trade yet. Maybe we can catch a weekly wick down to this area. I still want to be in the Swissy yen. It's just there hasn't really been a good opportunity to catch it after it took off.
Yeah.
Euro Aussie dollar under resistance / support right here. Nothing to do yet. Ooh, huge pound or huge pounds. Huge wicks on the euro pound, but
looks like they're being sold into pretty hard.
Yeah. We will have a continuation signal at the end of today. But maybe we don't want to take it. We'll see what the day ends like.
Yeah. Because that's looking rough on the 4.
Yeah. Euro CAD, potential baseline bounce trade. Nothing really to do right now. Euro Swissy, we took this short here. As you can see, we're doing pretty good. I think take profit one's all the way down here though. So we got a little bit to go, but trade is looking good. Euro Kiwi, break of trend. Looks like a decent intraday short opportunity here on the Euro Kiwi. Euro Yen hanging out at resistance, nothing to do here. Same for Euro USD. Pound Kiwi looks like it's wicking into support. These are potential reversal signs. Very interesting. Ooh, this looks so good on the Can we take this right now as like a scalp? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, nice break of trend. That looks like inverse heading. Well, yeah. That's a bullish sign for sure. You're going to get continuation most likely up to your, even though that's a bit far, but I mean, even up to the 1.9 range, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah. It just looks really beautiful. Like look
Very
at
little
all
white noise.
this,
Yeah. Perfectly.
all this volume just dumping here into support. And then we take back off when sellers are exhausted. Okay. I love this for a reversal long in this spot right here. Probably not on the daily, but we're going to try and catch it on a lower time frame a little later today, guys.
Keep an eye out for that one.
Pound Canadian has potential here for a reversal too. Kind of a fake out break below this recovery.
Yeah,
but no actual signal yet. Pound Swissy. I don't want to take anything against the Swissy. Swissy's been too strong. Pound Yen. No sell signal yet. We were going to maybe get one at the end of today if we close below this baseline, which we're not yet. No, not enough volatility to be able to short the pound dollar. But this has potential also. Yeah, sort of break it. I took this one short yesterday. It looked like we had a nice signal. I'm not feeling so hot about it right now, but
I don't think you're out of the. I mean, yes, you're getting a little bit of buyback here, but I don't think you're necessarily out of the woods yet. I mean, you still have to wait for that daily to close, but right there on the hour, it looks like you're starting to get some continuation to the upside. But
yeah, I think I might take it in the face with this one, guys. We'll see. Kiwi dollar is just trading sideways at the local point of control right now. Nothing really for us to do yet. Still not above the baseline. Very strong potential reversal, I think, on the Kiwi CAD. I would try and get one more test down here and then take it long for a retest of this area. Kiwi Swissy likely to keep breaking down in this spot. Should have been short up in this area. And then potential bounce here on the Kiwi Yen. Too much trading sideways to know for sure. But if we can get a cross up, it'll be a really beautiful. This area is so resistance.
Yeah, you're pushing against it right now.
Support.
Yeah. And with the baseline crossing above that trend line, I mean that usually leads to support building above it and continuation. So yeah.
And then finally the USD guys. USD CAD giving us a reversal signal on the daily here. Probably good to take. I would definitely take this for a retest up into this area. USD Swissy. Rough. No signals to speak of. We're testing the lows right now. 15-minute maybe giving a long signal. I wouldn't. I'd be pretty cautious with it.
Yeah, take that with a grain of salt.
Now the yen here looks the dollar yen looks pretty nice here on the 4-hour. We're getting a 4-hour PTP signal right now. And I bet you anything, Jason's signal system is firing on this too.
Yep.
PTP is. And the USD RON is potentially, the RAN is potentially giving us a 4-hour long signal here.
Man, look at that channel.
Yeah. Nice descending.
Just forever channel.
Yeah, descending, broadening wedge. Okay, guys, that's it for FOREX right now. I think the takeaway here is that while the Swissy continues to be strong, the US dollar is putting in some very heavy signs of a reversal. So if the US dollar reverses, you can expect all the other ones to dump into the dollar.
Pull back.
Because the US dollar is like the main denominated trade against all of these pairs. So I would keep your eye on the dollar index in this spot. Potential longs are USD CAD looked really good. There are some potential reversal shorts on the Aussie dollar pairs, and I think on the New Zealand dollar pairs too. These have run very hard for the past couple months, so it wouldn't be unusual to see maybe a week or two of pullback before we see continuation on these trends. I don't necessarily think the trend of the New Zealand dollar being strong and the Aussie dollar being strong is over, because they are still in the height of summer, they are still outside of lockdowns, and that is still in all of our futures. So I think it's a good wrap up for Forex right now. I don't have much more to say on it.
Yep, I think that was well done.
All right, excellent analysis. Thank you, Alex, with the Forex tip. All right, that takes us to what are we at? All right, we have 15 minutes to show close. I'm gonna try and squeeze in if Alex or Jason are feeling generous enough to take another request or two. I've got a couple late requests that came in. Would you guys mind taking a look at these markets for us?
You talking about XTZ and ORN?
Yeah, I got one coming from Ostrich here. Have you guys checked XTZ? Let's take a look at XTZ, please.
Jason, you want to take over the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
All right, give me just a second to switch over to Alex's or Jason's screen. Switching away, and so here we go. While I rejig the real quick here. Okay, we are good.
Well, as you can see by this stake short that I was talking about earlier, would have looked to take this position right here, and you'd be at TP1 right now. So you'd be putting your stop loss to break even and forgetting about stake for a while. But we are wanting to look at XTZ, USDT. Let's come back over here to the 24-hour. XTZ actually did give you a full, with the 13 EMA, gave you a full short signal back here on the 3rd of December, which you'd be sitting right about there. I mean, we've literally just been going sideways for like the past 2 weeks, it feels like, in most of the markets. But I think that honestly, like with this much sideways, it wouldn't be silly to still look at taking this position. I think XTZ does look good for a short here. At least take it down to...
That's one of the things I like about the baseline system, is that it keeps us out of shorting things too early.
Yeah, and it can also keep you out of panicking before it like if it closes well above, you know to get out of it. But at the same time, if it's hanging around that 13 EMA, you realize that you can give it longer. It's nice to use it as a gauge, because otherwise you would stress yourself out trying to figure out, oh, should I go? Should I not? Should I go? Should I? But yeah, we've been going sideways here, and that's one of the downfalls of the 13 EMA is that it is more sensitive in that it will get you in sooner. But a lot of the times you'll find that you have to wait a little longer to get that signal to complete. So patience is definitely key. Looking at XTZ here, XTZ USDT definitely looks good for a short, down to at least the $2.02 range. That would be the TP1. But looking at it over the daily, yeah, I mean, I think you're going to take it back down to into this range. Whether that holds or not, I mean, that's not really what we're here to tell you. More to get you into the trade, to get you some profit, and then if it does continue, that's great. But at the same time, right now, I think XTZ looks for a short within this range, within its current range, and then once that breaks or holds, then you can make your next trade. But right now, XTZ is definitely looking good for a short, my friend. And then what was
Next one is going to be, I think, Orion Network. But shoutouts to Ostrich for requesting XTZ, and indeed Trevor Kentop. Would you guys check out ORN if you don't mind? I think that is Orion.
I mean, this is an interesting.
I made the Orny joke about this one yesterday.
This is not got very much data, but this does look strong. I wasn't here for yesterday's show. But looking at this, I do like this pattern right here for continuation. You had a continuation along 2 days ago, which right now you'd be currently sitting a little underwater, but you would definitely be still above the baseline, which would keep you in this trade. I think you're going to get a baseline pullback to the top of this wick, which we might have already gotten, $3.35. What's the low? $3.36. It's pretty damn close. But this is usually what I like to see. Continuation. You're building a nice shelf here, and then we tried to pop up, then we're going to come back and test it. And if this holds during the day, I think that this would be a great signal to take for continuation, to be honest with you. But if it closes down below here, then it's a no trade.
All right,
the risk to reward is there.
There you have it, Mr. Trevor. Hope you appreciate the look at Orion. I'm going to review a couple quick comments before we get to the final request. I saw something here earlier I wanted to address. Let me see if I can still find it. Robin Powell Donahue says, thanks guys, have a good trading day, have a good one. All right, thank you so much, Rob. And yeah, we are getting closer to the end, so make sure you hit the like button, guys. We got 42 likes right now. If you're currently tuning into the show, you haven't hit the like already, this is an opportune moment to do so. Peckham.
Aren't any of you OCD? Don't you like round numbers? Don't you want it to be 50? I mean, come on, guys. Think of the round number. It's so round.
Don't you want it to be 50?
We have a question here from Michael Firststorm, and it says, what do you guys think about XRP and that airdrop coming? This is something we covered on yesterday's show, Michael, so maybe you'd want to review Monday's market update, because we did get into XRP, but as to where...
We actually had a long discussion about Spark. Essentially, my feeling is that for most of these big name airdrops that you have to hold a token for, the token dumps the day of or the day before, and you end up down like 20 or 30% on your position, and then you got to ask yourself if you really made money off of the airdrop. That ends up being disappointing because so many other people were in it too. Like the airdrops that actually make money are the ones that very few people know about, the few people were in, and then that's why the airdrop ends up being valuable.
Yeah, you'd think to get an extended thoughts on it, you'd have to review yesterday's show, but that's the rough idea. You know, there usually are dumps that come after the drop, and you end up there's a potential opportunity cost, so you end up hodling to try to get the most of the airdrop and out of your XRP holdings, and that, like I said, represents a opportunity cost. With that said, I also think that someone clarified in the chat yesterday that there's a holding period that you have to, I think, hold your XRP for an extended period of time. I think maybe 6 months or so. And
I thought it was a Spark at a holding period.
Maybe I'm unclear on this, but I got the genuine impression that the Spark is trickled out 15% at a time, so you don't get your entire airdrop all at once. Encourages people to hold and not dump right away. So maybe that's good for the price, but it also means that you're not going to get, you know, a mountain of Spark dropped on your head right away come the airdrop. So just something to bear in mind. Okay, finally, what do we have left? I'm going to review the last couple comments. Let's see here. Still scrolling, good, still scrolling. York says, I have so many magic cards and it's crossed my mind to sell them, but I just can't for some reason, LOL.
Yes. Well, you can't because Mt. Gox is down, of course.
Yeah, consider putting them on eBay or something. I think we still have like Pokemon cards and shit from the childhood era. I got like a shiny Charizard or some shit stashed in here in mint condition. Last time I checked eBay.
Damn, look at the big baller over here with a shiny Charizard.
Yeah, I'm gonna flex on you guys with my NFT Charizard and Venusaur cards. Let's see here. Okay, I got one final request coming in from Peckham. I think this is gonna be the last one. This one has to do with XVS. He says it's bullish AF in my humble opinion. Jason, Take a look
XVF?
at XVS, which sounds like a pharmacy chain, but let me take a look here.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Looking at this right here, it's way too overextended to be looking at 13 EMA system. You could, honestly, there are a lot of times where this happens to where you get that intraday movement and then it pulls all the way back to the baseline before daily close, and then you get a nice continuation. This would be a full long signal if you get it to pull back within the qualifying line of the baseline. But as of here, I mean, this is just too far, man. This is way too overextended to look to take to the upside, for me at least. We could go to the 60 hole and see how that's looking. Ooh. Don't you love how the baseline does this to these ones? But as of right now, I think it's a little too hot to handle, to be honest with you. It's quite overextended on the daily. A lot of momentum has come in today. So wait for daily close. If you get a good pullback and it stays above the 13 EMA, I would take a shot at it. These ones that have that big wick tends to scare people away from them. And if you go through my past trades, especially within alts and stuff like that, there are often ones that look like they have a big wick like this that pull back, and then I always take them, and I always get messages from people like, oh, are you sure that that's the one you want to take? Like, I like these ones because they often get continuation. Like, the psychology of it seems to talk people out of wanting to take it. But when it's this far extended, it's just breaking one of the rules that I have. So if it pulls back to here to, I mean, below 380, I think you can take a full position on it. This does look strong. I'm not sure what this coin is or what news it would be, but certainly looking strong here.
All right. Peckham 08 XVS, courtesy of our analyst Jason. Hope that hit the spot. One of the final requests, Jason, and let's see here. We got about 5 minutes to go before I wrap up the show, so I'm still gonna try to squeeze this one here. For Crypto Caveman, he's saying Theta never under 50 cents again, question mark. We did cover Theta a little earlier. Let me check my notes here. When did we get into Theta? Did I not timestamp Theta? Oh, we did. About the 1 hour 22 mark, Mr. Caveman.
I think that's an extremely bold call, my friend.
And never under 50 cents? We think that's, we are going to see 50 cents?
I mean, that means that Theta would never go 25 cents lower than it is now ever again. And I'm not seeing
sure we'll
that.
Get some kind of pullback.
Yeah, like, I mean, even right here, this is yet to be tested, which is below the 200 EMA, like, and that's sitting at 43 cents. So I think that you're going to get at least a test of this shelf here. So, I mean, never below 50 cents again. I think that's an extremely bold statement. Actually, curious enough, you are getting a continuation long on today's. It's a little overextended, the same way that the last one was. So this would be looking at reduced risk here. This does look pretty good to me, though, because it did make a new high. You'll likely get a pullback here down to the 13 EMA tomorrow. Honestly, that's usually what you see when you get these continuation longs that look like this. HBAR was a great example of that yesterday that we got into, but we got the pullback today, so now we're not sure whether we're going to be in that by the end of the day, but that's part of trading. So, I mean, it does look good in the interim for the daily, but never under 50 cents again. I think that's a little bold, my friend.
Okay, hopefully covered that question for Mr. Caveman. Let's take a look. One final one, Jason, and this one comes from Ostrich. He's asking for Stellar XLM, which I'm pretty sure we didn't cover yet today.
I don't think we did. Well, gonna be honest with you, nothing here yet. You did get a short signal here, but WADA's just not there for you. Kind of just listing lazily sideways. We broke out of this ascending triangle without any attempts to push to the upside. I think that this is a broken pattern. I think that this is looking good for a short. It's just with my system, it doesn't catch them all. Like, you're not getting it to line up the way that you'd like to see for a full signal, but this looks very weak to me. I think that you take it back at least down to the 11 cents range, to the bottom of the shelf. This is looking very similar to a lot of the charts that we went over today. So
looks like the XRP chart.
Yep. Which the XRP chart might be giving me more clear data. So let's go here. Actually, still holding above the 13. Yeah, we are just going sideways still, but we're beginning to see signs of breaking down here. So for me, it's not quite there yet, which is interesting. So it's funny how, like, even using these two different, vastly different baselines, like you'll find that even in the middle of them, like Alex is looking like a full short signal right now, and I just have to wait a little bit longer.
All right, there you have it. What more can be said? Ostrich, hope that covers your final question. And all right, before we hit the exits, I'm going to quickly jump into my browser scene here and show you guys what I'm looking at. Now, I couldn't help but notice somebody requested earlier in the requests. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Someone in the request asked for this thing called Sheisse Coin. Sheisse Coin or Sheisse Coin?
Shyster Coin?
Yes, I'm going to Sheisse Coin. I didn't find it on CoinMarketCap. It didn't even show up on CoinGecko. All that came up was this scammy looking site. This looks really low rent, guys. Take a look at this. Sheisse Coin, the digital coin world has gone to Sheisse. I guess Sheisse is German.
Sheisse. Yep.
German for you know what. Drink some coffee and smoke a cigarette and prepare for the Sheisse. You will never see a coin like this. The first batch of coins will ICO in 2029. Until then, we'll use deposits for creating even more Sheisse. Okay, so this is clearly some kind of
you're gonna give up your money for 9 years?
Gag. It's a gag. It's a gag token. I can tell after reading this 2029 thing. So clearly they're just printing, but it's a good one. I forget who posted it. Was it T-Dub? It was somebody in the regular chat. One of the regulars put us on to Sheisse. Unfortunately, this is not a real coin, dude, but thank you for trolling us. I did spend about 3 minutes on my valuable day looking at this literal German shitcoin. How about that? How about that? All right, but I digress. Let's move away from Sheisse Coin and quickly look at this daily hodl story that's leading, I guess, the stories today. Microstrategy plans to push corporate Bitcoin investment above the $1 billion mark. How about that? Of course, Microstrategy is one of the largest independent publicly traded business intelligence companies in the world, and it plans to buy an additional $400 million worth of Bitcoin. The firm says it plans to offer $400 million worth of senior convertible notes to qualified institutional buyers for the express purpose of investing in Bitcoin. Pending the identification of working capital needs and other general corporate purposes, they say they're preparing to buy. The announcement only comes a few days.
Isn't this just like a runaround?
Yep.
of the SEC not allowing a Bitcoin ETF? What's the difference between this and a Bitcoin ETF? You're essentially you're buying someone else's custodial services of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
It's like an end run around Grayscale Bitcoin and everything.
It sure sounds like it, but maybe they don't deal exclusively in the Bitcoin asset. Maybe there's like a threshold. You know, maybe Bitcoin still represents only a fraction of their total holdings, and maybe based on that they can kind of get away with it.
But the firm says it plans to offer $400 million worth of senior convertible notes to qualified institutional buyers for the express purpose of investing in Bitcoin.
Yeah, that part looks a little dodgy. I wonder how they're going to get by with the regulators on that up front. Now, apparently this announcement comes only days after MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor announced on Twitter the company had bought more than $50 million worth of additional Bitcoin. So just a few days ago, they added another $50 million to the coffers. He said MicroStrategy purchased approximately 2,574 Bitcoin for $50 million in cash in accordance with its Treasury Reserve policy, an average price of approximately $19,427 per Bitcoin. We now hold approximately 40,824 Bitcoin. Company's total Bitcoin holdings are currently worth about $782 million at press time, and meaning that the additional $400 million investment would push its allocation well above the $1 billion mark. Sure seems that way. Yeah, because they bought $400 million worth when the price was kind of way down from where we are now. So they are probably laughing all the way to the bank. Apparently their shares have tripled in value since the decision to adopt Bitcoin as a reserve asset. So indeed, the company and their shareholders are basically swimming in it right now. They're very happy, I guess, with the move of Microstrategy to pick up Bitcoin. Finally, I'm going to get into one final story here. Let me see here. Am I going to be able to find it? Yes, so this is a little follow-up to the whole Microstrategy purchase today. Apparently, Citigroup downgrades the company from neutral to sell on Tuesday following this news. So shares of Microstrategy fell on Tuesday after Citibank reportedly downgraded the business intelligence firm over its disproportionate Bitcoin focus. Citi analyst Tyler Radke issued a sell rating on MSTR shortly after the company announced it was raising even more money to buy Bitcoin. Radke says CEO Michael Saylor's disproportionate focus on Bitcoin puts investors at considerable risk, especially after an overextended rally since September. He wrote, MSTR's Bitcoin investment has returned $250 million, or worth about $26 a share, or 20% towards its total stock valuation, since August 20th. While impressive, it pales in comparison to the 172% return in stocks. At the current stock price, our analysis suggests that the market is pricing in much more optimistic valuation scenarios for the core business and Bitcoin. So I guess the guys over at Citibank, the analysts, are fudding the crap out of Bitcoin and Microstrategy, who has way too much exposure to BTC. I wonder who's going to end up with egg on their face.
MicroStrategy's stock is overextended, but not Tesla or Amazon or Apple.
Yeah.
It's just MicroStrategy is overextended.
Let's see how good they are at shorting.
Yeah, I wonder what part of the market he's citing here that says, in comparison, the market returned 172% in the stock. While impressive, it pales in comparison to 170% in stock. Okay, so
they're saying Bitcoin is worth like 20% of their stock. Bitcoin's up like 60%, but the stock is up 172%. So they're saying
understood.
The amount of money that the company is going to make off of their Bitcoin holdings, the market has priced in too much.
Indeed, unless of course MicroStrategy is onto something and they ride this wave all the way to 300K, and then I guess they'll get the last laugh.
Yep.
Indeed, so that's kind of the main story today we were following. Not too much on the news front beyond that. So we got the big firms, the big finance firms throwing their hat in the ring, and in the case of MicroStrategy, going into the deep end. Right, they dipped their toes in the kiddie pool with a $250 million purchase, and they've since dived all the way into the deep end. So that kind of covers today's news, guys, and we have been going for about 2 hours, 6 minutes. It's been a great show. I'm going to shout out really quickly the last few people in the chat. We got Peckham08. By the way, Peckham, I saw you DM'd me mid-show. I haven't looked at that yet, but I will be getting to that as soon as I log off. Decentralized Citizen says Sheisse Coin is shit. Yes, it is shit, Austin. Next. Peckham08, oh my ribs, this is too funny, please stop. Yep, I guess we're on a real comedy roll here tonight.
Sheisse Coin.
I sold half of my stake. Thanks for the advice. Indeed, I do think our analyst said take some profit on your stake here. You did good on this trade. Congrats, Decentralized Citizen. You're gonna be buying beers for the squad next time we get together. OMG, my keyboard, sorry for the typos, no problem. T-Dub, that wasn't me, bro. And the Sheisse Coin request came from B-Flow. Okay, so B-Flow asked for Sheisse Coin. T-Dub says it had nothing to do with him. Access denied. TRXC popped like a mofo. Not sure what TRXC, are you talking about Tron with a C on the end?
I don't think so.
Is TRXC a thing, or is it just TRX that he meant to write?
TRXC is Transcenterix.
Okay, I'm going to quickly hop over to Jason's screen real quick. Anything interesting going on Trans?
Tron Classic.
Tron Classic. Didn't realize there was even a classic flavor to Tron.
I didn't either. But the one that I'm looking at is definitely popping off.
Okay, so Peckham 08 has been Yorick, hello, and okay, wonderful. I think we've shouted out everybody, including, everyone who obviously was with us for the duration of the host show. Thank you. We got still 42 viewers hanging in there. Thank you to everybody who stayed with us for the course of the show. It's been a great episode. I'll leave our analysts to say their final words and goodbyes. Any final thoughts, guys?
I mean, for me, looking at Bitcoin and the majors here, just I think that we're finally starting to see some signs that Bitcoin's gonna start sliding to the downside here. But I mean, that's my positions, and of course with the group, we are currently in short positions on Bitcoin. But
yeah,
I mean,
keep your eyes off for certain coins popping off, but I don't think the market's about to take off all at once or anything like that right now.
Doesn't feel like it. Yeah. If it does, it's going to come out of nowhere. If we do get,
and that's one of those things. It just can't be planned for, Like when it happens, it happens.
Yes,
just make sure that you're position sizing correctly. You're not putting positions for when those times do happen, that you have enough sitting on the side to really take advantage of that situation. Because when the market's moving that much, there's a ton of people losing, but at the same time, if you are smart and keep your at least something on the side and stuff to buy up these dips and stuff like that, you're going to make out way better than just trying to go for broke on signals.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Instead of shorting this top, as tempting as it is, maybe I'll just try it and set up some limit long orders down below. We might get a giant retracement. I'd like to pick up some longs for the big breakout once we finally do get above 20K. Might require springboard from either that 9,600 CME gap or the 12Ks or the 14K range. I'm not sure where it's going to happen, but I would like to see some limits there rather than shorting this top. But that's me. I'm super conservative, guys. I'm not a super active trader. I just look for really cheeky entries to make, maybe scraping bottoms, right? Try to buy that giant dip that everybody's kind of waiting for is my personal strategy. But much love to everybody. Hope everybody has a great Tuesday. We will be back for Wednesday for our Hump Day episode. I think that about covers it today. We'll see everybody in the Discord. Make sure your final words, Alex or Jason. This is now.
Trade safely.
Yep. Just make sure to trade safely, guys, and tune back in tomorrow.
Perfect. All right. Much love. Off to stream ending. Cheers, everyone.
Have a good day, guys.